Did you know that European missionaries encouraged Nigerians to wear second-hand clothes as a sign of their conversion to Christianity? Well, I'll tell you about that as we proceed with this video. I went to a thrift clothes showroom in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, where they sell thrift wears that are imported from Europe and other parts of the world. Before the name thrift clothes became popular in Nigeria, we used to call second-hand clothes Okrika or OK or bend down select. It was called bend down select because you have to bend and pick up the clothes that you want. So that's the name these clothes were called in many parts of Nigeria. I'll also be telling you how we upgraded from calling these clothes Okrika clothes to the thrift clothes that we do call them these days. So I did a research on the history of thrift wears in Nigeria, and I found out that the name Okrika clothes can be traced back to the colonial era, that is in the 1940s and 1950s. So the name Okrika originates from a tribe, Okrika, in Rivers State, Nigeria. That was the place where the first batch of second-hand clothes were delivered in Nigeria. So Okrika is a village in Rivers State, Nigeria, and the people of Okrika were the first set of people to wear second-hand clothes that were imported from Europe in Nigeria. So the clothes were named after the community, that's Okrika community. So that's how they started calling them Okrika clothes till date. I talked about European missionaries, and you might want to ask me, what have all these information got to do with European missionaries? Well, according to my research, I found out that Christian missionaries encouraged the adoption of Western dress code as a sign of religious conversion to Christianity. Like the Christian leaders were telling their followers to wear these clothes to show that they are now Christians, to show that they accept the European way of life and they accept Christianity. So that was the role that these Christian missionaries back then played in the adoption of Western clothes and these second-hand clothes by Nigerians. Before we proceed with this video, please, I need to get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So please, I need your support. Support me by subscribing to help me grow on this channel. I really appreciate. So Nigerians were buying these second-hand clothes from Europe and North America as a way of supplementing their clothing needs, because these clothes are actually very affordable. They are even cheaper than the Nigerian fabrics. They are cheaper than the new clothes, and they're cheaper than the normal African fabric. That was one reason why most Nigerians were buying these clothes from Europeans and Americans. The clothes were seen as clothes for poor people, especially because of how they are displayed. If you want to buy these clothes, like when I was growing up, even till now, if you go to the market and you want to buy these clothes, they're displayed openly and they're displayed on the floor. You have to bend down and pick the clothes that you want. You have to keep checking. You have to keep bending down until you find the one that you really like. That's how these clothes used to be displayed back then. Even till now in the market, they are still displayed that way. Just the way you see in this video, the way the ladies are picking up the clothes one by one, that's how these clothes are displayed in the market. So people used to see them as clothes for poor people because they are cheaper. And of course, if someone is rich enough, you wouldn't want to come out in the public market and start bending down to pick clothes one by one. I mean, you would see that as something for people who do not have the money. But the good thing about these clothes is that you will always find good clothing among these clothes. Like if you wash them and iron them and you wear them out, a lot of the time people cannot tell that this clothes you're wearing is a second-hand clothes. People can't tell the difference. But people who have the money would not want to go out and start bending down to pick clothes just because they are cheaper. Initially, these clothes came from European countries like United Kingdom, France, and Germany. Recently, these clothes have also started coming from China. I would say because of how popular these clothes have become, now start coming from Asian countries like China and Korea. They are also coming from Europe as well, but Asian countries are now bringing in these clothes to Nigeria. So how did we move from calling these clothes bend down select, Okrika, OK, to calling them thrift wears? Yes, we know that these clothes have always been thrifted. Yes, we know it's a thrift wear, but that was not the name Nigerians called them. They were called OK by Nigerians, not thrift wears. Social media played a very big role in making people see the value in these clothes. With the growth of e-commerce in Nigeria, people who sold second-hand clothes online, they decided to upgrade these clothes. They decided to change the way people see these clothes. And what they did was they went to the market, they picked up these clothes the same way people pick up these clothes, the same way others pick up these clothes in the market is what online sellers did. They went to the market, picked up these clothes, washed them, ironed them, wore them on mannequins. Before, like when I was growing up, you hardly see these clothes on mannequins. What these online sellers did was they got mannequins, they got really beautiful shops, lightings and everything, and bought these clothes, wore them on these mannequins, and increased the prices. And they decided not to call them okay anymore, because okay sounded like something for poor people. Bend down select made it look so degrading. So what they did was they decided to adopt that name, Thrift, and that's what most of them did. Like most of their shops, they will write so and so thrift, so and so thrift. So it made even people who saw themselves as too big to buy these clothes, they started seeing the value in these clothes. Oh, these clothes are actually beautiful. These clothes, you can't really tell, these clothes look classy. So these people changed people's perspective from poor people clothes to classy clothes. So even the people who are rich enough want to now wear the thrift clothes, because sometimes you see really nice clothes among these thrift clothes. So that was the role these social media vendors played in changing the perspective of Nigerians when it comes to these thrift clothes. So a lot of Nigerians, especially people who use social media more, started calling it thrift clothes, and the people who felt too big to go pick them from the ground in the market, they started going to these thrift shops to buy thrift clothes. So that's how Nigerians moved from looking at these clothes as clothes for poor people to actually a cloth that anybody can wear. So the name of the showroom, I'll be leaving it down in the description. So in my opinion, I would say thrift clothes are very helpful in terms of quality and affordability. And personally, I look forward to the day that Africans will be able to sell their own second-hand native clothes to other parts of the world. So guys, please help me get to 1,000 subscribers by subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for watching to the end of this video, and see you in my next video, guys. Bye.